What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is White Gamer. Today we're going to be going over the new update that we're going to be getting this week. I'm recording this on a Monday night, so we're probably going to get this Tuesday morning, latest Wednesday. So some point this week, maybe by the time some of you guys are watching this video, the patch will be out already. So let's get going, guys, with the gameplay. They're going to reduce the accuracy of acrobatic shots taken right after a flick. So I think that means as soon as you're going for an acrobatic shot and you flick it with the right stick, I think, and you shoot it, they're gonna reduce that. Acrobatic shots, honestly, this year haven't been that effective, so I'm surprised they're gonna reduce the accuracy of acrobatic shots taken after a flick. They're gonna slightly increase the frequency of AI teammates attacking running into the box. So this has to do with not only Ultimate Team bots, but AI and clubs. But most of you guys should have attacking AI teammates, so they're gonna be making more runs, which, I guess is not bad. Strikers were sometimes not supporting counter attacks after making a pass. Again, this has to do with the AI strikers, I'm pretty sure. Next, wingers could have sometimes dropped back during attack instead of running into the open space. Again, this has to do with the AI wingers or attackers. So I guess this time around, instead of them dropping, they're going to run into the space. And then they're going to improve the through passes and crossing to better respect your aim input. So I know a couple updates ago, we had kind of something similar to this where the through passes were going to get improved. So they're going to keep improving it, I guess. And the crossing, so crossing could be a little bit more effective, especially if you have the whip pass and especially if you obviously have good attributes and you're aiming it properly. Now, for the defending, guys, they're going to slightly reduce how tightly AI defenders will mark pass receivers on the edge of their box. Now, I don't know if this can apply to clubs, but I know in Ultimate Team, a lot of people have been AI defending. So now the AI defenders are less to press on the edge of the box when you're going for those extra passes, especially on the edge of the box. So don't know if this can affect clubs. It probably is. They're going to improve defensive man marking during short corners. So the bots will be a little bit better when you do those short corners. But most of the time, most of the time people do go for short corners because a lot of people don't know how to kick corner kicks. Now, guys, we got a whole section for goalkeepers. I believe this is going to be for both some humans and mostly AI goalkeepers. Goalkeepers were sometimes punching on crosses when it should have been more beneficial to catch the ball. I've definitely seen this with human goalkeepers before. Pretty much what it says there. Instead of them catching it, they'll just punch it and give away possession. The next thing is improve goalkeeper logic when determining if they should dive at the ball when a dribbler is nearby. Now, I definitely seen this before where keepers would dive, both human keepers and bot goalkeepers, where they would dive at the ball instead of just trying to grab the ball. And sometimes them diving for against the dribbler will cause a penalty. So I don't know if this is going to be should be better because it's going to improve the keeper's logic. So I think this has to do with the AI's goalkeeper, not so much the human. Improves instances of the goalkeepers overcommitting to one side when attempting to save a far post shot. I don't know what they mean by overcommitting to one side when attempting to save a first-time far post shot. Maybe, for example, if you're attacking on the right side, they would just focus too much on the near post and then would have to go for that far dive, maybe. I don't know. If you're a goalkeeper, guys, let me know. Remapping controllers will no longer affect BL Goalkeeper default inputs. Now, okay, this BL Goalkeeper, this has to do with, you guys that play human goalkeepers, the human goalkeepers. So remapping controllers will no longer affect BL Goalkeeper default inputs. I didn't even know that was a bug. So if you were remapping your controller, there was some sort of inputs on certain defaults. This is a known issue. Remap controls may incorrectly display on BA Goalkeeper UI. This was only a visual thing, and then the CPUI Goalkeeper could have sometimes taken unnecessary touches instead of passing the ball. Yes, I've definitely noticed this, where sometimes AI goalkeepers would take way too long to pass the ball, or just take too many touches. Now, guys, they didn't mention that. Now that I think about it, when you ask for the ball, they did not mention nothing about that. So hopefully, as we keep going, they mention something about that. Some player indicators, that's not important. Player switch and input accuracy in some cases. This is good if you're playing as any or Ultimate Team. Address instances of the ball incorrectly bouncing off the player's leg when requesting a shot. I think I've seen that before. Sometimes a requested shot could have resulted in the player performing a sliding shot when it wasn't necessary. I've definitely seen that before. Sometimes I would see players, even myself when I'm playing up top, grinding archetypes, my player would do a sliding shot when it wasn't really necessary. I thought that was a composure issue, to be honest. When calling a teammate short, the called player could become unresponsive during a set piece. Didn't know that. Improve the referee logic when calling fouls for physical contact from behind. So they might make them a little bit more stricter, the referees, when you're doing fouls from behind. Address instances of directional runs not following requested input correctly. This has to do if you're doing if you're playing any or ultimate team. In some cases, a requested pass to the keeper could have resulted in an untended header if the ball was slightly in the air. Didn't notice that. There's a lot of things on this pitch note that I haven't really noticed. It's like minor stuff, but I'm sure it's happened to some of you guys. Remove cases of players becoming unresponsive during an animation when they look like they were out of breath. Competitive gameplay only. So this is Pro Clubs and Ultimate Team. Remove cases of players becoming unresponsive during an animation. I've definitely seen that before, guys, where sometimes a certain animation would happen and your pro doesn't react to the situation. In the rare cases, a deflected ball could have passed through the goalkeeper's chest. I have not seen that one. That's insane. The teammate containing indicator. Oh wait, the teammate contained indicator could incorrectly display on user control players in club matches. This was only a visual issue. Address cases of players switching not working as intended during air ball situations. Address instances of user control players not moving towards the ball following a deflection. Definitely noticed that before, where sometimes your player just wouldn't go towards the ball after deflection. In a rare situation, the ball carrier would not perform a requested shot. And then what else? Shield request could have sometimes resulted in shielding taking place too far from the opponent. Maybe this will make the enforcer a little bit more better. And then some animations playing out incorrectly. There has been some bad animations in this game. And then, guys, we got some Ultimate Team stuff, which we're not going to go over because this is not an Ultimate Team. Let's focus on the club. So what we just went over was like the gameplay, the attacking, and like some AI defending and goalkeeper stuff. Now, let's see what they did with clubs. Revise the rush introduction to show the goalkeeper archetype when controlled by a player. Okay, so that's just if you're playing as a goalkeeper in rush, they're going to show your player on the card. Added an option in the visual setting menu to reduce the number of player indicator displayed in clubs to local player and teammates only, or to local player only. Don't know what that means. All right, let's see what they got here for clubs. Sometimes AI goalkeepers would not attempt to dive on penalty shootouts in club matches. I didn't really notice that, to be honest. I didn't know that was a thing. When entering a drop-in match, the position assigned did not always suit the archetype of your pro. Okay, guys, this is huge. This is actually huge. So I think they finally, I could be wrong, but according to this, when entering a drop-in match, the position assigned did not always suit the archetype of your pro. So hopefully, for example, if you're using the Marauder and you want to play fullback, hopefully now it'll put you at left back or right back. If you're playing with a creator, hopefully it puts you at cam, because I know sometimes it'll put you as CM. And if you're playing as a spark, hopefully most of the times it'll put you as a winger, because sometimes I know it'll put you as striker. So hopefully that fixes that issue. If it did, that's a W from EA. In certain situation, an error could have occurred when attempting to join the lobby for a league match. Yes, that is true. This happened to me a couple of times, and I'm sure it's happened to some of you guys. When you join a league match in the lobby, you will get like an error message. So it's good to know that will get sorted out. Hopefully, again, hopefully. The next thing is a visual only, where incorrect attributes increase could have appeared in a pro when entering the club store. Okay, that was just a visual issue. Matchmaking options were not shown in the club settings. I didn't know that. That's that thing when you're in the lobby, I think. In certain situations, a rush match did not start after the match found message appear. Yes, I've actually noticed that before. Playing rush, especially if you're those type of player that play a lot of rush, when it said match found, the game actually wouldn't put you in the game. Address instances of club coin UI displaying incorrect numbers following a specific flow. That was only a visual issue. The player debut scoreboard element could have incorrectly displayed when a player wasn't debuting. Yeah, this happens so much in clubs, especially when I'm playing like 11v11s. You get that the debut thing, even though we've already played numerous times for that certain club. The scroll bar on the objective screen did not always display as intended. Address instances of pro customization not saving in certain scenarios. Okay, this is a good one. If you customize your pro and sometimes certain stuff wouldn't saved, I think that's happened to me a couple of times with certain hairstyles, like the headband. Sometimes it wouldn't save. I would have to go to the club store and then equip the item, and then it'll save. When unlocking an archetype, the pro could have been shown with an incorrect kit. Didn't know that. And then address an issue that have allowed club matches to be started with all facilities enabled. I don't know if that was a hack though, because I know there's a hack or a cheat that you can have all the facilities unlocked. Address an issue that could have allowed club matches to be started with all facilities enabled. So maybe they sorted out that issue, guys. If you come up against any hackers that have all the facilities enabled, maybe they sorted that out. I don't know. And then we got some career mode stuff, and then we got some general stuff, probably some UI stuff. Um, yeah, and that's probably about it. Oh, we got some PC stuff. We probably got some little minor stuff. Let me see. Address a pair of PC specific stability issues that could have occurred. That's good. Any PC stability issues always good. I know PC players having a lot of issues this year. If you're not one of those, consider yourself lucky. What else? National team, incorrect. Cinematics, and I think that's about it, guys. So yeah, we're gonna be getting this update, like I said, some point this week, Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Tuesday morning. There's still a couple things that EA didn't really address, like the stamina. I know some of you guys like the stamina this year in clubs. Um, and you know the AI is taking too long to pass you the ball when you ask for it. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think about this new update that we're getting this week. Do you like it? Do you not? Again, there's still a couple bugs they need to fix. Also, the celebration, when you select a specific celebration, it isn't safe. Other than that, guys, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.